Okay, we're just going to go through quickly the note page on penguin prediction, and you can find this page in your OneNote. Prediction is very straightforward. You need two graphs. You need this chart that comes up as a forecast chart and the graph itself. The stuff in red is your prediction. This is the model making a prediction in the red. The green, if you look at the green and the blue, or black, so we have the black, which you might not be able to see all that well if I just blow it up a bit. You can see that we've got the black, which is our raw data, and the blue, which is the Holt-Winters model that is making a prediction about the data. So it's following the raw data quite well, and then it makes a prediction after 2007 about what is going to happen. Now, the Holt-Winters model is basically what the software in NZGrapher uses to make predictions. So what you're seeing here is a mathematical model called Holt-Winters that models the data, and you can see that it fits the raw data quite well. All right, it fits the raw data quite well. And then we have over here the chart that gives us the actual prediction. So this thing here, is the actual prediction, this column, all right? It's called a point estimate. This is what our model predicts that on this particular time frame we will have. So you can use any of these time frames for the prediction. You try not to go too far into the future, so maybe confine yourselves to the earlier years. So let's just say that we make a prediction for April. So January, February, March, April, that's down here. April, month 4. All right, let's just use that as our prediction. So all we say is this: the Holt-Winters model predicts that in April 2007, right, that's what this is, the population of penguins will be approximately, we use the word approximately, 350. So you see here, we just round that off to a nice number that makes sense to the context, right? We don't have 0.15 of a penguin. And so we use that as our point estimate. And then we talk about this min and max thing, which is what we call a confidence interval. A confidence interval, right? And this gives us an interval of numbers to use, because oftentimes when predicting into the future, these point estimates are incorrect. So it's better to use a confidence interval because that gives us a little wiggle room, and we can sort of say, well, we're pretty confident that we could say that the population, penguin population in 2007 in month 4 would be somewhere between, I don't know, 209 penguins to about 518 penguins. That's quite a wide interval, but you can see that the 350 falls within that, but it also gives us some wiggle room for that to be incorrect. So it could be somewhere between 209 to 518 penguins. We're really confident that our prediction will fall somewhere in that range. So this is what we write. And it's called a 95% confidence interval. Whether you use that or not, it's up to you. But this is a point estimate, this 350. It would be, and it can be wrong, right? It would be better to use the 95% confidence interval, as this gives us a range of values that we can be confident the population in the colony will be at this time. The model gives the CI as between 209 and 518 penguins. Okay? So that's your prediction. That's really all you need to write. And you need to talk about your confidence interval, and you need to talk about why we use the confidence interval instead of the point estimate. Now you can talk about this, the bandwidth, to some extent. That's a nice little conversation, because you will notice that the confidence interval gets wider as we go further and further into the future, right? And that's because we're more and more uncertain about what happens in the future. So the width of the band is important. The further we go into the future, the more uncertain we are about the prediction. This is reflected in the width of the band. Early in the prediction, the width is reasonably narrow. And it's good to give an example of what the width is, with the width of about 200. So again, if we go up to here, right, that's about roughly 500. This is around 700. So it's about a difference of 200. You don't have to be exact with it. And as we go further, the bands get very wide. Example, in November 2008, okay, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, right here. You can see it goes from about 400 to about 1100, right? Which is an increase. Oh, we did it wrong right here. sorry, my mistake. It's this interval here that they want us to look at, that they're talking about in the write-up right here. So you can see that it goes from about 267 to 992, which is approximately width of 700. And that's considerably wider than earlier on. And that just reflects the uncertainty in the predictions. So the further that we go into the future, the less certain we are that our predictions will be accurate. And so the mathematical model actually makes our confidence interval wider as we go. So that's why we tend to confine ourselves to early on in the prediction. That's a better practice. Now that will get you, that's sort of the achieved merit component of prediction. There's a lot more to it around validity of the model and how good a model this is for making predictions and so on, but we're not going to deal with that here.